The tide is turning. Let's see who's up next in the next exciting episode of Which Trucking Company Expects Drivers to Work for Free? Hello and welcome to Trucking Answers. I'm Mark, your paid for all of his time host. Today, Walmart loses an appeal again and has to pay $54.6 million for unpaid time for its drivers from Walmart Transportation. That's correct. The place everybody writes to me and loves has tons of time that they don't pay for in violation of California law. It turns out many of us don't like California because of many of their laws, but the good law is that all time that an employee has that's controlled by a company must be paid at least minimum wage, okay? And that's the key to this lawsuit, which is time that is controlled by the company. At issue is layovers. So some layovers at Walmart, you can go and do what you want, Walmart says, Walmart Transportation, but can you? No. You have to get approval of transportation management, for example, to take your break at home. Oh, well, guess what? If you have to go beg somebody for approval for something, you're not free. Always remember that in society, in work, and anything else. You don't have the freedom of movement to do whatever you want if you have to go ask them and then they can approve it or not approve it. And it turns out, depending what you had in your trailer, transportation management doesn't always approve it. You also have to park the truck at an approved location, which they said generally is at a Walmart distribution center. Since they exercise this control over the drivers, that time must be paid. The Federal Appeals Court found that the liberty and freedom of movement was controlled by Walmart Transportation, and therefore that time had to be paid. They said just because you're on a break doesn't mean you're not at work, which is what I've always said. Just because you're sleeping somewhere doesn't mean you're not working, because the company controls your time. Don't work for free. Stop tolerating all this garbage where you live in a truck stop, you live in a parking lot, and you think like, oh, well, this time I shouldn't be paid for. Also, Walmart had to pay $3 million for pre-trip and $3 million for post-trip as part of this lawsuit as well. Why? Because that's paid time, because they require it there. Anything the company requires you to do, you should demand payment for. Stop doing this stuff for nothing. The other parts of the settlement include $44.7 million for layovers and another $4 million for mandated California rest breaks, which most states don't have. But because it's mandated and the company makes you sit there, they have to pay you for that time. That's how it works. Off-duty time can only be taken if you're free to pursue activities of your own choosing wherever you want. That doesn't mean you go ask your mommy at Walmart Transportation Management, can I go home? Can I go do this? You're not free then. When you ask your someone for permission, you aren't free. Asking someone for permission means you're not free. You're certainly not free to do whatever you want, and all that time should be paid. As long as you're at work, you ought to be paid, and the court agreed. Now, Walmart is deciding what to do. I'm sure they'll spend even more money, hundreds of thousands of dollars on more appeals so that they don't have to pay people. Look, stop working for free. That's really the solution. Don't do any more work for your companies for nothing. Expect to get paid. You're at work, doing work for them. If they say you must go do this, then that's something they need to pay you for, right? Don't tolerate it anymore, not for 1 second. It's 2020. It's time to pretend like it's still 1863 and you don't have to work without being paid. Thank you for watching, and we'll be back soon with more Trucking Answers.